Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach. Two friends discuss all things fitness to bring knowledge and some opinions to you wherever you may be in your health journey. My friend Caleigh, the beginner, almost ran a 5K once, recently had her first protein shake, and is the proud owner of one set of 5-pound dumbbells.
And my friend Sara, the expert, grunts when she lifts, has race walked dozens of races, including a full marathon, and has 12 open protein tubs in the pantry. So let's get started.
So Caleigh, this podcast idea very specifically delivered to you through your subconscious.
In a dream.
In a dream. Yeah. So how did that exactly go down?
One night I was sleeping. I had a dream that the two of us started a podcast. The podcast in my dream was one episode we'd talk about fitness. One episode we would talk about true crime.
Which, they're totally the same.
You're into fitness.
Right.
I have an interest in true crime.
Just an interest?
Yes. What do you want me to call it? An obsession?
Well, you did go to Obsessed Fest.
Okay. Okay. Touche. Yeah. In this dream, we had this podcast. We got wildly famous. I mean, beyond our wildest dreams. And I was rummaging through some paper one day, and I realized do we want to tell this part?
And of course, it's part of the dream.
I realized that while I thought we co-owned this podcast empire.
And then we were friends.
I found out that, in fact, you owned it all. And I confronted you, and we got in a fight, and that was the end.
It was done.
We were done.
And I was 100% owner.
So I woke up in the morning, and I got a good chuckle out of it, and I thought, I'm going to tell Sara about this dream. So I texted you.
I think at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, I was on the treadmill.
Right.
And you texted back, whatever. Maybe an hour or two later, I get another text from you, and you say, let's do it.
I think it was closer to lunchtime. Like,
it might have been a little bit later.
I was trying to eat, and I was like processing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You said, let's do it.
And I'm like, maybe she's onto something.
And I was like, what is she talking of? Because the thing about me is, when I realized you meant the podcast, when I have an idea or when I think that something's going to be a thing I want to do, I need time, like a year to 20 years to think about it. And sometime in that period of time, I will realize I'm not going to do it. I'll talk myself out of it. That's my toxic trait. I will talk myself out of doing the thing.
Doing all things, really.
Don't want to do.
And I'm like, no, I really think this could be something.
And I thought I had an out because I said, oh, well, we don't have any podcast equipment. We don't. And then Sara said, no, I got it. I know a guy.
And we've got Alan. And he's awesome. And we have the most sweet setup
So
ever.
Here we are. Here we're doing it.
And we're here.
Here we are.
And this is only within like a few weeks then too. So
this literally happened.
It was right before Christmas, so like mid-December.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I guess we're going to get together and we're going to do this. But I was like, this could be entertaining and fun.
Right.
And helpful for people because you're starting kind of a health wellness journey. I've been in it for far too long. It's like, well, we could share each of our experiences, some knowledge along the way.
Right.
All while we've got some opposites attract going on.
Right. And I think that has been kind of the cornerstone of our friendship so far, has been like, you have been on the journey you've been on for far longer than I've known you. And I've always admired you and what you do. And honestly, and I've never been that, but now I'm creeping up on 40 here. And I'm like, okay, I need to take my health and wellness a little bit more seriously. And I've come to Sara and been like, what about this thing? How do I do this thing? What do I need to eat? What do I need to do? And it's, Sarah's like, I think in your mind, you're kind of like, it's easy. It's easy for you.
I can cut through it really quick.
Yeah.
Because you'll find something on TikTok. You'll read an article online, which is where most people go to get their information.
Right.
So I'll get the text message.
Yep.
Like, what do you think about this?
Right.
Or this.
And so that's what we want to talk about on this podcast is we want to sort of weed through the crap that's out there. What's good information? What's not good information? I'm going to bring a lot of things to Sara and ask her opinion on the latest TikTok trend or the latest.
And we'll talk about it and
Right.
we'll get into it. I have at this point been a certified personal trainer for over 10 years. My journey started through personal transformations. Then I got excited got certified to be able to help other people step on a fitness competition stage. Now, a lot of this was before kids. So you have different time in your day at those stages than some maybe do now, but it's all possible at any stage in life. So it's never too late to start.
Right.
Never too late to start.
I'm trying to get started, and it's not easy.
You can do this. And we're going to share it along the way. But what's really super interesting about the two of us is you knew me long before I knew you. Mm-hmm. And so we have a gym. And we have an annual weekend in our community where we celebrate and alumni come back and people, and there's a parade. I mean, I feel like a lot of small towns across the country or even bigger ones, you know, you've got a summer celebration weekend, right?
Yep. So let's rewind.
Yeah.
Almost 8 years ago? Almost 9 years ago. Almost 9 years ago.
The girls are 8. I was pregnant, right?
Yeah. Okay. So just short of 9 years ago, I'm going to tell this from my point of view.
I love it.
I was pregnant with my first daughter, very pregnant. I think would have been June. I was due in August. So big,
6 weeks, I think, 5 to 6 weeks before.
And just to paint a picture here, I got pregnant at probably 145 pounds. And the day I had her, I weighed 210 pounds.
We gained the same amount of weight.
So I was a moose. Already by this point, I was swollen. I was retaining so much water. And so I'm at this cute little small town community parade, and I'm sitting, and I am parked in this camping chair, ready to watch the parade. I have my snacks. I have my ice cream sandwich. I have my ice. I have all the things, and I'm watching this parade. And all of a sudden I see this float come up for the gym, the local gym. And there's a woman on the float who's clearly pregnant. And she's doing squats. I don't know, probably.
It was different every year.
Some fitness move. Mm-hmm. And I remember I turned to my husband and I said, okay, she's clearly not as pregnant as I am. She's showing, but she's not as big as I am. She's up there doing squats. And he just kind of looks at me. And then, spoiler.
Did he agree with you, or did
he would have said.
Well, as a smart man would have,
he didn't
for
argue
sure.
with me.
But
he was like, "You're prettier, you're sexier, you're skinnier,
no, honey,
all the things." He's like,
sure.
"You could do that too." I was like, "Right." Okay, so spoiler alert, that woman was Sara. She and I had our daughters within 12 hours.
Yeah, Elle was born at 9 o'clock at night, and Clarice was that next morning, I think, right?
At 2:30.
Which,
so she literally was as pregnant as I was.
Literally, almost to the day.
That's how I came to know Sara. Sara didn't know who I was until years later.
No, yeah, I didn't. I still have people to this day that will stop and remember those parade moments where I was exercising on a trailer bed pulled behind a truck.
Right. So let's talk about, do you recall meeting me at the home show?
Mm-mm. No.
Because we talked about the babies.
Vaguely,
okay.
But not until we pieced it together 4 years later.
Because this is another great part of our story, if you will, was my husband and I went to a home show. My oldest daughter had been born. Her daughter had been born.
This was flash forward then 8 months after the parade.
Probably about
that. Because it's February.
Right.
June to February, whatever that is.
Yeah. We had our babies and we went to this home show. The gym had a booth there and I don't know. So we both had our babies. We're like, oh, how old is she? How old is she? Oh my gosh, they were born. Whatever. And then she probably had a little enter for a free gym membership box.
I did.
To be polite, I'm sure
Well, you did, because I still have the picture on my phone of this piece of paper of who the winner was.
So I entered for a free, which I had no intention of using. Did it. I never heard back. I never heard about this winning entry.
So I drew her name.
She drew my name.
Didn't know who she was. And it wasn't until then, years later, 6 years later, probably, that it was on my phone in my little album for all things about the business. And I was like, why do I have a piece of paper with Caleigh's name on it? And I was like, wait, she was the drawing winner? I'm so confused. I was like, wait, I've met you before? Yeah, we did.
So I won a gym membership 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
I won a gym membership. 4 days ago,
Finally cashed it in.
redeemed it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start going to the gym.
I love it. I mean, this is note to self. Next time I do a trade show that have entries, I'm going to put like an expiration date because
I cashed
people
it in.
will crawl back out of the woodwork and be like, I won this.
6 months. Was it a year?
It was a year. And then,
So I split. So me and my husband split it.
yeah, I let you share it. Okay. So you guys can both do 6 months. And accountability partners are key. Having your support structure in
Right.
place, when you get ready to go. And so, yeah, I blame part of the memory loss at the trade show that day due to the fact that I had this wild idea that after I carried her for 41 weeks. And I was like, I am going to get my body back. I'm going to do a fitness competition in 41 weeks after I deliver her.
I had no such thoughts or delusions after.
It was delusional.
You
But I did
did
it. I did do it.
I
So
did
it was
not.
like,
I did not do it. I did not do that. What I did do was nothing.
I mean, you had a baby.
I had
And
a
you were
baby.
taking care
I
of
had
the
a
newborn.
baby, and she was a high maintenance baby. But like I said, I had her at 210. She wasn't 210.
Oh, thank goodness. That would be really hard.
I was 210 the day that I had her, and by probably February, March, I got down to 119. And I don't know how I did that. To this day, I wish I knew. I did not.
Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. My husband swears I wasn't eating as much.
Probably weren't.
But I don't know. That's why I'm going to figure out if I could do that again.
You're like, yes, please.
Because I had not cashed in on my free gym membership. That's for sure.
Right. You're like, what? I was, I think, 230, 220, 230 at the end of my first pregnancy. All my pregnancies were about the same.
How tall are you?
5'9.5".
Okay.
5'10". I mean, I used in basketball in high school, they'd add a couple inches, and I think I'd say I was 5'11", but I don't think that's true.
I don't think you're 5'11".
5'9.5".
I call myself
technically
5'6", 5'7" on a good day.
Yeah. So still carrying probably about the same
Right.
with a couple inches of height difference. So yeah, it was big. I remember I'd be at the gym, and a lot of the guys at the gym, they were cutting for a show, and it was giving them some like mind issues when I would go and step on the scale, and they were like, how is it possible that you are weighing more than I am right now? As they were kind of like, you're cutting, you're getting leaner. But yeah, the weight just kept going and going.
Yeah.
And going.
I gained a lot with, both of them.
All four of mine, I gained a lot.
I've only had 2. You have 4. So that's what I am half the woman that you are.
No, but it was fourth and final. And it's funny. People will be like, are you sure you're done? Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm done.
As well.
I'm done. I am 40. Wait, what's today? 41.
Entirely too old
I'm almost 42.
to be having babies.
Way too old. This is why people have their children in their 20s. I know this. It's like just trying to keep my head above water. So, that's good. So got some good history, got some experience, and, we're just going to roll forward
Right.
with the topics, learn along the way about a lot of stuff, share what we know.
Mm-hmm.
You can try the newest TikTok trends,
And I will, probably.
and then we'll talk about it.
One time until that's what happened with there's a TikTok trend we're going to talk about in an episode coming up that I saw it and I thought, sounds really easy. Like I could probably do that 3 times a day. This is my toxic trait. I see something and I'm like, I could do that 3 times a day. And then I tried it.
And then she asked me about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds horrible. It's like, oh, it can't be that hard. Oh,
Yeah. And I tried it. I couldn't, I did pretty good.
It's legit.
I didn't finish it. But that's the difference between you and I is that you knew immediately upon seeing what it was, that it was going to be hard. And I was like, how hard can it be?
well, why does that make that a toxic trait for you?
But then,
because you're like,
it's a
you're
toxic trait.
possible.
Because I try it, it's too hard, and I never want anything to do with it ever again. I'm done. That was not what I thought it was going to be.
You're like, nope, on to the next thing. Where are these detox drinks I can get? Or just let me pop the pills and let's just take the easy route
I'm
here.
going to get a juicer, which I've done.
Oh,
Gotta
geez.
take-
We'll talk about that too. We'll talk about everything. We'll just roll through it from there.
I'm
So,
excited.
all right. So we're going to finish each episode with kind of a love it or hate it scale. And we'll each be able to share how we feel about whatever that is we discussed. If we like it, hate it, love it, hate it, whatever. And we'll wrap it up with how things work. So that's kind of how we're going to roll with this, I think.
Yeah.
All thanks to a dream.
Yep.
Manifested over a few hours. And then a couple weeks later, here we are.
Yep.
So
here we are. Thanks to you.
You're welcome. This is going to be fun. All right. We're good. All right. That's the story. We're sticking to it.
Yep.
And we're going to roll from here.
Let's go.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. Be sure to let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and of course, tell your friends. Until next time.